everybody, this is Hua. Welcome back to my YouTube storytelling channel. This is my Halloween Horror Fest, in time just for Halloween for next month. If you have a story you'd like to share or an experience you'd like to share with the audience and listeners, please feel free to send it to the email listed below. This is an experience, a shaman experience of my own, that I'm going to share with you today. As you all know, when we shamans are trying to bring home a soul or trying to do a reading or trying to do a ritual, there may be many different things that we encounter. And this is one of them, and I'd like to share it with you today.
Someone must have broken my heart, like really torn it apart in another life, in another life. Someone must have really picked me up, like caused my heart to stop in another life, in another life. Otherwise, I don't know why I keep coming back to this, keep fighting all of it. Don't trust that there's love like it. I don't know why, I just can't believe in it. Like somehow I can't commit. Guess I have to.
Her mother called me and said she'd been having nightmares at night, forcing her daughter to stay awake and lose sleep. She was fighting an invisible force that her mom couldn't help, and she was at a losing end. She reached out without having any expectations, and after I did the initial reading, I found that her daughter had an experience where she had been scared, and something was following her. It came at night when everyone was asleep and bothered her with sounds, cold touches, and peeking from the edge of the bed. And this girl was very young, and she couldn't tell her mother in detail what was going on. And when she tried to explain, her mother, not understanding, would tell her that it was nothing to worry about. Until she started wetting the bed, and she was at an age where this shouldn't be happening. And it finally gained her mother's attention to get help. When I first got on the phone with her mother, whatever it was already in my house. I could hear its breathing and feel its deep and angry presence. While talking, I shifted my eyes to my lit altar where my candles were flickering, and I knew right away where it was standing. I put the phone on speaker and asked the mother to just listen in while I did a reading under trance to figure out more what had happened. And it came full force at me without hiding what it looked like, and immediately I knew why the little girl was so scared. I mean, this thing was ugly, and it had no intention of disguising itself. The family had gone hiking the weekend before, and she had walked off to enjoy a different part of the park. And it was there, waiting and seeking for vulnerable souls to attach itself to and to feed energy, and she was the latest victim. And it latched right onto her, putting itself right onto her little shoulders. And at night when the house was dark, it slithered like a snake from corner to corner in her room, laughing at her, peeking at her with bright, airy eyes, and reaching out to tickle her little feet that dangled from the bed. And she would lay in bed, curled, unable to speak or move. And when the first ray of sun hit, it disappeared, and she was finally able to sleep. The moment it appeared before me, it was big and ugly, trying to scare me with its breath and horns, but I was ready. I asked, "What do you want?" And it replied,
"Her."
To which I said, "Yeah? Well, you'll have to fight me first." And it smiled at me, coming at me full force. And, when it spoke and it was relaying its messages through me, my husband said I sounded not even human underneath the veil. I sounded like an animal, just grunting. But when I drew the circle around me to protect myself, it began to taunt me from outside the circle. And I finally asked, "What is it about this little girl that you want? She's not even yours. What do you want from her?" And it replied,
"She asked for me. She said to take her away from the pain. She was scared of life. She asked for me because she was sad."
And that was when I felt the presence of Nengokaying around me. And I looked up to where the portal to her was opening up. And I knew there was more to this story than just the entity itself. And so I placed a circle around the entity and went up to where Nengokaying was sitting on her throne, dressed in white, a pure goddess with a gentle smile. And she said, "The little girl was asked to be given by her parents, but when sent down, the arguments between mother and father was too much, and the blame was put on her. And she was the reason for their hatred within each other. So the little girl began to ask to be removed from the world, and it hurt her, especially when they were hiking outdoors where it lingered. And this broke me. And as I returned to where I had locked it down, I asked it where the little girl's soul was. And it wouldn't reply except laugh at me. And that was when I removed my sword and asked, how many pieces should I do? 3 or 2? And it relented, telling me that if I can get her to come home with me, I could have her. But if she refused, she was staying. Now this was a true fight. When I found her, she was sitting on a tree stump with a dazed and confused look on her face. And I remember I sat down with her, and in a gentle voice, I began to call her soul home. Oh no no, rong nu, mo no, rong mo, gu hu, no ya gu hu. And she didn't even look at me. And I tried again, and this time she glanced at me and said,
Mommy says I'm a bad girl for being born.
And that was when I relayed messages for the mother to burn Jo's papers and apologize, to retract her words, to never again say anything bad, to bring her daughter home with her. The mother began sobbing on the other line, unable to speak, and the father mumbled a few words, not enough to do any changes. And I could hear the howling of the entities around me, and I had to do something else. And so I asked her, what do you love the most in your life? And she said,
My teddy bear. But I can't find it.
And I reached for her hand, telling her, I know where your teddy bear is. This isn't your home. That's why you can't find your teddy bear. So you need to come home with me and I'll show you where your teddy bear is. And finally, the father's voice broke through. Min sai chỉ sao tu xiao, mi lên gì thọ gì, lên gì tao uo có tu xia tu sầu, lo treo nên gì tu mi lên sai, lo treo số chừng lo treo mò. And her eyes gleamed with life, and she said,
Is that my daddy?
And I said, yes, that's your daddy. And she smiled and climbed onto my back. As we began running, going back home, I started chanting to cover our footprints, a sweeping proof that we were there, and I could hear it chasing after us, asking not to leave it alone. And I turned, and it pleaded with me. And I told her, you can't keep her here. She's human and you're not. You will hurt her if you do, and she has parents who are waiting for her. And it looked at me, and it said,
Then you better make sure her parents never hurt her again, or I will come to take her away.
And it looked up at the little girl and waved gently, and I turned, climbing onto my amber horse with wings. My guides began brushing the ground with peach leaves, and a chant was sung to hide everything I had touched, and the portal closed. This little girl is all grown up now, and loved very deeply by her parents. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next episode.
Someone must have broken my heart, like really torn it apart in another life, in another life. Someone must have really picked me up, like caused my heart to stop in another life, in another life. Otherwise, I don't know why I keep coming back to this, keep fighting all of it. Don't trust that there's love to get. I don't know why, I just can't believe in it. Like somehow I can't commit. Guess I have to admit. Yeah, I got an issue with love. Yeah, I got an issue with trust. Really bad at opening up. Yeah, I got an issue with love. Yeah, I got an issue with trust. Worried that it won't be enough. Yeah. Someone must have made me feel bad about who I was and what I had to give. Oh, someone must have told me a lie, really played with my mind in another life. Otherwise, I don't know why I keep coming back to this, keep fighting all of it. Don't trust that there's love to get. I don't know why, I just can't believe it. Like somehow I can't commit. Guess I have to admit. Yeah, I got an issue with love. Yeah, I got an issue with trust. Really bad at opening up. Oh, yeah, I got an issue with love. Yeah, I got an issue with trust. The reason that you mean no. It keeps feeling like everybody keeps winning. World keeps on spinning, but without me. But without me, oh. It keeps feeling like I stay blind to something that everybody else seems to see. Everybody but me, oh. It keeps feeling like I can feel it. I'll tell myself that I'm better off being free, yeah. But really I'm just afraid that true love's a trade. Do with the fear, yeah. 'Cause yeah, I got an issue with love. Yeah, I got an issue with trust. The reason this on me, I know. Oh, yeah, I got an issue with love. Yeah, I got an issue with trust. Reason there's an issue for both. Oh,